team ban. Fnatic's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
All right, that's enough of that. We're going to get into our second game of the day. It is Fnatic versus Clutch Gamers here, our second game of our first series for the China Dota 2 Super Major Southeast Asian Qualifiers. A lot at stake for both of these teams, Clutch Gamers and Fnatic, of course. Both teams are behind TNC as of right now, and I imagine they're going to continue to be behind TNC. TNC, I'd be very surprised if they lose one full series, but they very well may. So essentially, what it comes down to right now is you kind of have to win every game. Whether you're Fnatic, whether you're Clutch Gamers especially, after losing that first game, I have a feeling that they're going to need to win the second game if they even want to have a chance. It's not like it's top 2 go on, it is top 1, and TNC are currently undefeated. Fnatic, of course, have taken a game off of them. But the more interesting part about this game, about this series so far, has been the drafts. We see the Terrorblade banned out from Fnatic again. Fnatic realizing how strong this Naga is, they've banned it out themselves in this game, Brax, and I don't suppose that's really a surprise to you.
Against Naga Star, they especially understand how strong the hero, right? They play it quite often. All right, Fnatic pick up the Lashrak right away. Dark Willow, very interesting hero. He does a lot.
She does have some rough voice lines, but we'll forgive her for that because she is a very good hero, or at least I think she's an alright hero. She has Bedlam. If you can get levels, especially if you're playing this as a support Dark Willow, you can really take over the game and kind of just get solo kills and be effective. I don't know. What are the downsides to Dark Willow, though, Brax? I mean, what's the issue with this hero? She's squishy. Does she have not a big enough mana pool? What are the problems with Dark Willow?
I think this hero owns.
Okay. Well, that's easy then.
So, you can dispel the first round, so some carries can deal with it pretty decent.
10 seconds remaining.
General. The Bramble Maze is, of course, not the most reliable. You have to be pretty good at aiming the spell. Get off right away. But, I mean, for the most part, the hero is extremely strong. Good in lane. He's survivable. And
Fnatic's turn to ban.
Omni Knight.
Omni coming out for Clutch Gamers. This is another one of those heroes where, like, you have to ban so many heroes. Clutch Gamers interestingly banned out the Warlock, which I suppose is fine, but, like, you can't cover all your bases, right? If you're Fnatic or Clutch Gamers, one of these heroes is going to get through, and I guess that hero that I'm personally a little worried about, if you're a Fnatic, is probably the Omni Knight. He can be a real difficult hero to deal with, but there are some counters. There are ways you can deal with him. You could always pick like an OD safe lane and just crush him in lane, but he seems like he's still in a pretty good place on this hero.
Yep, still definitely very good. I imagine Razor, Fnatic to ban out the OD, so there's OD Omni combo. Tell the OD and everyone to deal with. Well, should be a Razor ban at some point coming out from Gamers. They want to make sure Omni is, as of course. How Impact Guardian Angel can be late game, repels amazing ability, and he's just a lane dominator.
Yeah,
good all around.
He can kind of crush lanes if he's got the right matchup, especially like 1v1s. He just loves those. He gets off to a fast start. He's probably the most CS hero in the game, most net worth hero in the game. Kind of what we saw yesterday in our last series, our last game, I think, which was Execration who played it, and he kind of crushed. In general, though, he's just really strong in lane.
Great clutch game. They ban
10
out the Luna.
seconds remaining.
You know,
Yeah,
Fnatic,
remaining.
actually, every NV team are playing safe, like, heavily winning that safe. You know what I mean? They never really try to sack NV, even if the lane is they never draft themselves into a position where the lane is just rough for NV. He always has a fantastic. They always dedicate all their resources.
God,
And,
that's got to be so refreshing as a carry player to actually have a team that says, hey, we can draft around you and we're going to let you farm decently instead of having like an Underlord or an Omni Knight run at you and you're just like, I can't do anything. Help.
I guess that's why they banned out the Luna, because they faced a tri lane with Blessing Aura where they just right click.
They could do... I don't think they will do this. I liked the Nando Vengeful Spear yesterday, but I don't think that's like an NV hero because he struggles so mightily in the mid to late game. He just cannot get farm, and that doesn't seem like a hero like NV that he likes playing. And the heroes that he can play are generally heroes like Terrorblade and Luna that could just get massive and control the game at all points of the game, and then he could just dominate. Venge just doesn't seem like one of those heroes though.
Plays the Ultra Lake. Terrorblade team.
Exactly. And well, I wonder what they're going to give him this game. They did go for the Lestrak Slardar, so they're the ones that pick up Slardar this game. And again, you kind of have to function around that timing window of the Blink Dagger. And if you don't get it at a reasonable time, you can kind of just be useless in a lot of these fights. I really hyped up the Corrosive Haze combination of the Exorcism in the last game. It didn't do anything. Yeah, it never happened.
Remaining.
So I'm just like, okay, well, if that's not going to provide you anything, then what are you actually getting out of this hero?
Remaining.
And it has to be that Blink Dagger. It just has to be. Otherwise, I don't know how much Aftermath actually did in that game. And I'm concerned that it might happen to Fnatic here, but they have the Darks here to pair with it, so that makes things a little better, I suppose. But this hero is weird, though.
Definitely a weird hero. Curious to see how Fnatic will play with it. It gives Slardar a place in the map. Play with the Ion Shells, bully some of these heroes.
10 seconds
Eventually, Darkseid's
remaining.
gonna that tower with some sort of support movement or carry rotation to his lane,
5 seconds
and then
remaining.
that should, in theory, give Slardar a place to farm. Because that's what Fnatic have been really good at. That I've noticed a couple months back. Whenever they always take time to take objectives to give space back to the rest of it.
Disruptor.
Envy will make a move on whatever carry hero he's playing, just a pure tier 1 tower, and then he'll give that space back to his supports, who will in turn eventually give that space back to him by protecting their level 6.
And going a step beyond that, I
10
feel like they
seconds
just
remaining.
always take objectives knowing that they're going to get something. Like there's a
5
deeper plan
seconds
other than
remaining.
just like, let's take a tower in many of those situations. A lot of it coming down to the map control you were talking about. That's really cool to think about, actually. Like, that's how DJ and Pilate get so farmed, I guess, because they do make that space. But in the odd circumstances where they don't have those tower pushers, they don't have that kind of lineup, maybe they can't function as well. And I'm curious if it's going to be one of these games in this particular matchup. Anyway.
Dire team.
I mean, you imagine that a hero like Slardar, right? He needs some space. Kind of like the Sand King, you roam around to level 4 or 5-ish, and then full farm. Farms much faster. Fnatic go back to the more.
And this is a bit better
10
for Clutch
seconds
because they have
remaining.
Omni, who I think is good against Morphling. They have Disruptor with Static Storm. You can
5 seconds
actually kill him.
remaining.
Last game, they were relying on a Doom. A Doom with a giant windup to kill the Morphling. It had happened like once. And they didn't even kill him. So now you're just like, okay, well, we actually have ways to kill him now. Or at least maybe they should. You know, I think Disruptor's pretty good against the Morphling in that regard.
They definitely should. And if they can, you know, they don't have like a melee support hero to play off of with the Sand King, for example. He is banned, but that style of hero that just gets in there on top of the
Fanatics
Morphling.
turn to battle.
Tiny comes out, gonna be a mid or safe lane Tiny. The biggest thing about the Morph Omni, you know, if Morph gets protection, he's okay against the Omni at lane. And then later on in the game, Morphling can into the Omni himself,
10 seconds
Yeah.
wave
remaining.
into the middle.
How does the tree interaction work with
Dire
Morphling,
team
by the way,
back.
with Tiny? I think I've seen it before. I'm not 100% sure on it. Like, you morph and you get the tree.
Freeze off the auto attack.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. Oh, God. Morph is pretty good. It's just such a high skill capability, you know? There's so many cool things you can do with it, like we saw last game. Like, he stole the Doom, and then he would, like, Infernal Blade Centaur Conqueror Stomp, because the Centaur Conqueror Stomp was on the Skylark Doom. So like, all these plays you can make. He had the Healing Ward from the Jug. That was a particularly notable play. He's just a flashy hero for Envy, I guess, and I guess he likes those heroes.
Every fight, he would turn into the Doom for that Doom burst, so that Morph can run around super fast. Crazy thing. I'm just rough. Even the Dark Willow to hop in Battle Realm.
You know, in the right hands and with enough farm, this hero feels like he can just do just about anything. And the more you talk about it, the more excited I get to see what Envy's going to do this game.
The potential is endless. Carry players root. Everyone loves playing.
That's true, and you know, there was that void that has been left unfilled up until recently. You know, when the Rubik was mid for a long time at TI2, and you know, Dendy was notable for playing it, and he had so much base damage from the Fade Bolt, so he was strong then, and then you get level 6 and you start roaming around, you finding ganks and kills like that. Doesn't really happen more. We've seen our fair share of mid Rubiks recently with Miracle, and by recently I mean like in the last year and a half. But the Morphling is just, it's a step up. The hero that actually does stuff, you know, other than what a Rubik can accomplish. He actually does damage, which the Rubik cannot really provide other than the spells that he has at his disposal. Morphling, he's got such a high skill gap, and I think it's really exciting to see what Fnatic can do. But we're still waiting on that 5th hero that they're going to pair up. They have a pretty blue, purplish draft, and are they going to keep it that way? I wonder. And then there's the flop.
Very fast-paced lineup coming out from Clutch Gamer. Safe playing Tiny off on Omni mid queen. Not a true one position. But, you know, Tiny actually does play pretty well against Morph if he can get farm. Morph likes to play on low HP. Tiny, out of a Shadow Blade or Blink Dagger, can burst Morph for about 1,000 damage. Sometimes you can just pop him, shift off afterward.
Yeah.
Bad at all.
They have a way better team lineup of dealing against the Morphling than they had last game, but now they're going to have to fight up against the DK. And this DK might have a pretty good time. You have the Dragon Blood against the Queen of Pain Shadow Strike in the mid lane. And then you have the Universe Darkseer providing Iron Shells. There must be something they know about this hero that we don't, because I feel like I've never seen this hero in like... I haven't seen this hero in like a year and a half. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
Did get buffed. Playing with the Helm of the Dominator creep is
Oh, true. That's right. That was kind of the Helm of the Dominator build on Darkseer. When he was like still picked, it was actually pretty common. I think that was like old Helm too. What is this Disruptor? What is that thing?
Jesus.
That looks disgusting.
It's something out of a horror film.
That's some Little Shop of Horror stuff. God.
It's just staring right at me.
I apologize, everybody. Nothing we can do about that. Yule's got his set. The orc part, like, he looks like one of those orcs from Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft, like with the stuff that he's got on, but the actual mount is just gross. I went a little too far, maybe. Maybe that was the purpose, but I can't get into it.
Well, that is amazing, then, if making us react like this, Mont.
It's true.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the intention of the creator. I do want to give him props, though, for the actual Thrall items that he has. I guess it's not Thrall, but you know what I mean. Alright. They're going to jump into the game. This ugly mount might be enough for them to take the game, to get this Morphling taken care of. A few static storms are going to be critical. But I don't see as fast of a game especially from Fnatic. You don't have Visage, you don't have all the auras. I mean, you do have some pretty good early game kind of team fighty, pushing heroes to DK. But this is going to be, I think, a bit of a slower paced game for Fnatic.
Yep. This game, they're a bit limited by the DK form, right? That's got a long cooldown that helps towers, but maybe Helm of the Dominator is just so strong when you grew up upon it, you don't even need.
Yeah, maybe. That Helm is, did come out potentially. They do have the DJ support, Lutrak, by the way, which Lutrak has seen a renaissance. Essentially, he's come back into the meta. He is now a viable support, played in the 5 position. You get your E button, you hit your E button a lot, you get your Q button, you hit your E with your Q, and then you kill heroes, and it's great. And you dance, you got the dancing pony, the disco pony for Lutrak. And and it's great.
Key selling point.
30 seconds to battle.
Is he the only one in the game? I think he is, right? That's depressing. And the way this freaking disruptor mount looks, it might as well be a taunt. I didn't see it from the back. I've only seen it from the front. Then I looked at it from the back for the first time, and I was like, all right, it's even worse than I thought. It's this fat thing walking around with his tongue hanging out. His tongue always hangs out.
The battle
Why is his tongue hanging out? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I don't want to break the immersion of some of the people watching. Well, all right then. After we should running at Envy. Envy will take a couple of auto attacks, but he's fine. They'll dual lane top for now with Universe and the Slardar, the Iron Shell. So they're not going to maybe get the most experience, but for now at the start, they should be able to do a lot of damage even with level 1 Iron Shell. Be fine.
Yep. This bottom lane is very interesting. Queen of Pain. Double right clicks, long range right clicks too.
Yeah. And this is where the Slaughter being down here would have been nice. So it is going to be the Quap bottom instead of the Quap mid. Instead of the Omni Knight mid against Abed. I think Skylark's probably pretty happy about this.
Definitely. Good lane match for him, but I imagine both here.
Yeah.
It's not really going to be... Well, it is true damage, but got so much regions to work with, and both melees have falling blades. Both heroes.
Yeah, although Skylark is missing out pretty ridiculously. He's only got 1 CS to the DK6. Probably shouldn't happen. Alright, there it is. Okay, it's fine. He's recovered.
How's this top lane working? Slardars moved down. This is what they did last game. High got
yeah.
reverse easy start, and then they moved. They try to support.
Yeah, he's going to have to be against the Tiny, but he has Iron Shell, so he'll be able to get CS one way or the other. Getting experience might be a little tricky. Did they make a go into Afromush or Faded? These are not the easiest heroes skills, although Faded does have no blink. He's got the Shadow Strike level 1. So the threat of the initiation from Fnatic is pretty good. They already have 3 lanes going pretty well for them. And this start for Universe has actually done a lot for them, I think.
Universe essentially has a free lane, right? It's the bounty rune as well.
Although he is going to get glimpsed into an avalanche, he's going to surge, and then Yol, who could have gotten the other rune, is just going to have to watch. So the Thunder Strike and one more auto attack might kill him now. Good sell from Universe. And Yol has to... Yeah, that could have been a lot more dangerous, but he played it pretty much perfectly there for Universe, and he actually gets both bounty runes and he survives, and he's up to level 3 now.
It's like calculated risk, right?
Yeah, he pulled out the graphing calculator. He did some... Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Darkseer is pretty high armor. I'm unkillable. Speaking of who's not unkillable, it's Afromush. He's dead. I missed it completely. I suppose I should have expected bottom to do the action lane. I'm not sure how I missed it, but it did get missed.
A lot of kill potential for level 2s. Right, you have the Lightning Storm. Barter, Crush.
They just need to be in the right position, and then maybe they can even kill Faded with, even if like he has blink. If they crush in like Lightning Storm, or rather Splitter of Lightning Storm waveform, it might be enough damage to kill him even if he has blink available, which is kind of scary to think about.
A lot of damage. It's nice that the, you know, you'd think the support to it is Lightning Storm actually sets up.
Yeah, it's a pretty good combination. It's still early, and they're not really getting anything else done across the map, whereas Yol is rotated mid. Purification will come out. He does have stick charges. The Thunderstrike is going to be there as well, but I don't... Maybe the Glimpse. They do have it. Maybe they get the skill? I think actually they might. He's going to breathe fire onto Skylark and try to... Oh, look at these body blocks from Yol, actually. He's doing... That was an insane set of body blocks. He blocked them for a good 20 seconds, and they still can't kill him because Skylark has no mana. He was a... He's like 5 gold away from his soul ring, but of course it wouldn't have been there. You got to find the skill on Faded. If he has blink, he's going to use it. All right, and they're actually slowing down this Warfling. Envy's sitting on 15 last hits. And you look at the other lanes; they're having a great time between the two of the lanes for Fnatic, but Envy could have more. I think at the start of this game.
Yeah, definitely. But I think now is when it gets Flashback has the free gold instant trouble. Yep. Goodbye.
dead. It's dead. That freaking stupid mount just punk flops to the ground and then he melts into the earth and it's just... Alright, I don't want to harp on it too much. It actually looks cool. It's just weird. It's just freaky. It's not stupid. It's freaky.
Very spooky.
Spooky indeed. We're not even in October yet. A little early for that. Get into the summer. Dragon Tail on the Skellig on the Omni Knight. Omni Knight catching up. He was a little bit behind, but after some of the forced aggression placed onto Ovid, he's going to have to back up for the time being. Universe is farming the enemy jungle. He might be dead with a glimpse. Aji's here. He's got the Avalanche toss. He actually gets the surge off. The Avalanche comes in, and Pylai was ready to go with the stun. Toss hits onto Pylai. I can't believe they actually didn't get that kill. They still might with the Omni Knight. Need a stun. Universe, he needs to surge away, and he does. And because of that, he actually survives. Although the tower hits will do some work.
Shot? Oh.
He has like 8. He has 9 armor, like you said. So he's good to go.
Goodness.
He's a tanky man. This Darkseer. He's gonna go Shrine too. And Universe is working. He's well on his way to this Helm of the Dominator. He's actually like not too far. 800 goldish, I would say.
Working the offense, making lots of rotations happen from Clutch Gamers, just constantly harassing me. Doing the exact same thing. Chosen his last episode.
Yeah, but now he's like 3rd in net worth though, so he's finally getting back into it.
It's not horrible, but it's not free, right? That's the whole point. In some.
Maybe they can. I mean, Envy will probably still find farm. Aji's gonna get run at by the Darkseer and the Pylai die Slaughter, but I don't. They're gonna die this. Universe thought about it. Aji just happens to have 1,000,000 HP, so I don't actually know if they can do anything. The TP rotations are gonna come, and Universe needs to back away. That was a very heavy commitment that I didn't think they were going to make, and they might pay for it too. It's one of those rare mistakes that you see Fnatic make. They dive into the tier 1 tower. I think they just wanted to force the TPs. I don't think they thought they were going to die for it. Although Universe is still alive for now, but not for much longer. A 3 hits him, and Aji and Aframush combined up to get the kill with a glimpse set up by Yol. So a lot of TP rotations, but it's really worth it to get that kill onto the Darkseer.
Base for Envy, right? Now he has 40 damage over Queen of Fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, Highlight Eye is getting some experience. He's actually got his Tranquils now, so Blink Dagger is going to be the next item on the list, and if he can get to that item, things get critical. Just needs to make sure he uses it a bit better than they used it last game for Clutch Gamers. They didn't really do a good job in that blink and make the field it. Highlight Eye trying to find Yol. Maybe he gets this kill on his own. They have the Iron Shell. It's a lot of damage. They need another Crush. Glimpse is off cooldown, but it's not in time. It just came off. He wouldn't have been able to turn around even if he had it a second earlier. I think he's still dead. The Pilot Eye's on the run. That's a free solo kill. I guess he did have the help of Universe. He actually got the kill because of the Iron Shell, but that's the combination they were looking for, I suppose.
Yep, very pretty support here. Right, Yol, no reach at all.
Nice split Earth on the Dark Willow, but they've got the Glimpse back on Envy. They don't have Static Storm. Aftermush is just dead. That Glimpse actually did more harm than good. It essentially killed Aftermush, I think. If that Glimpse isn't there, I think Envy's probably fine.
Envy knows he's not gonna. He just on no health.
Oh, what a split Earth! He just got a double kill. Alright.
And
this game's looking like a repeat of Game 1, albeit maybe a slower version of that game. Like,
Envy's coming in hot for the mid game with the double damage bomb.
Gallark has no mana, also. He doesn't have Soul Ring, I guess. They need a Dragon Tail. They have Dragon Tail and Soul Ring Breathe Fire. Gallark knows something is up. Envy is full Agi at this point. He has 300 HP. And
never to go full.
I've heard that as well. And the Purification, which was stolen? No? Well, he's dead anyway.
That's why I've been told never to go full.
Yeah, that was not... I mean, you got the kill, but was it really worth it? Now you're dead forever. You missed out on some farm.
It's the play that the one position doesn't want to make, right? If they die for that, if the offlaner happens to die for it or for support, totally fine. Tiny combo. Does more than 400 damage.
It's pretty strong. Yeah, it definitely does more than... I think the toss alone does, like, some ridiculous amount, so...
Yeah.
He was the one that got 350 HP. It was one auto attack and a toss, and he's dead. And I know you want to get that kill on Skylark, but my god.
third streak on the Yol.
Yeah, I've seen this movie before, but I don't know if they can kill Yol. They've got the repel. That doesn't do anything. The repel literally just used it. Now it's on cooldown for 20 seconds. They get off the GA. They really want to take this tower. Skylark's going to pop the purification, and now his spells are on cooldown. And they know it, and they want to go on Skylark. He is pretty tanky. They have the Slithering Crush back up for Pilot Eye. They keep coming into the Yol as he's back and respawn. Waveform's up in 3. They have the mana. They need a purification. They get it off just in time, but Skylark should still fall. Maybe not. Actually, the Sonic Wave, that is a double kill for Faded.
No.
Skylark baits it out, and Yol sets it up with a kinetic field. There's no way that should happen, and I cannot believe they turned 2 there.
What this? We're having flashbacks of that popular Never Go Full Agility video here. You want to look real cool in front of your friends, you know? Look at how much damage you can do, and then boom.
The difference between this and that video is that it was an Invoker and he kept fountain camping him. It was so funny. It's just funny to think about. He's just sitting there raging because the Invoker just snipes him. He knows where he's going to respawn every time. And he just hits him with a perfectly timed Sunstrike. But you're right, though. It is similar. It is Envy. You need to relax, buddy. You don't have quite the farm you had in the last game. You're not top of the net worth. That's the Tiny now. You know, you want to get the Lincoln Sphere. He wants to make things happen, but you might want to just sit back, let your team push other lanes, and then you just sit back and farm like you did all of last game. Although I do think they can kill Skylark here. I think they just want the tower, actually. Can they get both tier 1s? That'd be pretty critical for... He's going to get denied by Ajit, probably. Yep. Do they get the tower top then? They want Skylark. He has no mana, actually. He does have his Soul Ring in 2. He's actually going to stick up the way from comes out. There's the Surge. The Purification does half of Envy's HP pool because he's at 500 HP. He likes to live dangerously. There's that.
So, alright, Envy did happen to die back-to-back, you know, trying to make some plays, but now everything's A-okay, right? Fnatic have taken 2 towers on the side lanes. This gives heroes like DJ support Lashrak some room to just keep on farming. Pi is also pretty darn farmed. I mean, just look at the network difference in the support heroes. Like, Oriole, Disruptor, triple digits, and Fnatic support's quite farmed in comparison. The space they've moved, Universe taking the tower, and they've done the same thing down bottom. Now it's time for the waves out cons. DJ's level 8.
Twice as high as Pilot Eye has on the Slardar. Kind of surprising, actually, but I guess DJ can farm a bit easier than the Slardar can, who just has to rely on his auto attacks and on his Slithering Crush. They're not really relying on that Blink Dagger, or like trying to get that Blink Dagger as much as I thought they would for Pilot Eye. They do get a kill bottom, by the way, which I saw on the rack. That's a pretty easy pickup. But this Blink is still a ways away at 12 minutes. I thought they might have more farm for him, but not the case.
How many dominance picked up on Skylark?
Envy, did he get the repel off? He did, I think. Maybe not. No, he did not get off. Sonic Wave did a lot of damage coming in. They have the status from there. I thought he got the repel up in time. He did not. That will lead into another tower deny for IG. A nice play. It's the glimpses that are really becoming an issue for Envy. This is exactly what we talked about in the draft. Disruptor is a much better hero dealing with the Morphling than the Doom was in the last game.
Envy trying to make the cute play there to repel himself in the Omnight. You know, you can actually wait for it during the glimpse as well, and then it actually just like dodges out.
Another Blink 3. Split Earth. Nice. Lightning Storm. Pulse Nova. This is the issue with this track hero. He does so much damn damage. Especially a squishy hero like Bob's not going to survive against it.
Making the transition when he's turned into that carry.
You know what? And I think that's fine. I think that's fine given the circumstances of the game. You've not really... You have yet to lose a tier 1 tower. Like, that's the one thing. There's a Tiny on this team. They're not doing any pushing with him. They're just trying to react to Fnatic's moves. They haven't done anything proactively other than kill Envy like 2 or 3 times, which is good. But it gives the rest of the heroes at Fnatic a lot of room to work with, especially this Darkseer and this Dragon Knight, who's now working on the Shadow Blade. He's actually got it, I think.
It needs to be the kills in conjunction with the Power Blade. That's when you can start to acquire some map control, some more farm on the side of Clutch Gamers. Alright, they're making a smoke play up top. Ajit is smoked up. He has the Blink Dagger. Envy sitting on 400 HP.
We're going to watch him die pretty quickly right now. Oh, he actually got it off.
Just kidding, Mark.
He actually got it off. He might actually live because of this. They have no Sonic Wave. Envy's just going to wait for him. He's fine. They could blink it and chase, but I think that's a dangerous play if Fnatic was to go for it. They get the glimpse, though, onto the Leshrac. Maybe they find this kill. He's going to pop the Edict. He's like, Yol, that's a yummy hero. Pilot Eye has a haste rune. Goodbye, Yol. Probably. Splitter, Lightning Storm, they didn't need it. Waveform, Envy finds the kill. So instead of Envy dying, he actually gets a kill out of it. Meanwhile, Ovid Shadowblades, he sees everything. He's seen it all. And he's going to see more. And VG Fade is going to be the one that's going to have to deal with it. He almost missed that crush. Luckily enough, they had enough damage anyway.
In fact, just got the proton out of the second monitor.
I really wish there was like some sort of instrument they had in Dota that, like, not the rangefinder, you know, like a more advanced version of the rangefinder. I'm not sure why you would need that personally, because the rangefinder functions well on its own, but still.
Usually for an ability like Crush, where it has like an AoE around you, you know, you just walk up towards and hold your mouse over the silver and crush it in purple, and then press your button.
Really? Is it that common? Like people actually having over it?
Radiant are scanning.
Huh.
Well, I don't know if it's actually that common, but I do.
Do you remember back in the day when like you could have the blink range just casually when you were playing Dota?
Oh yeah, I have that certain perfect. I didn't realize no Shadowblade available.
Yeah, he might be in trouble. Purification. He's trying to kill a stack and he gets some of it. He wanted to get like 1 or 2 of the creeps, and I think he got 1 of them. Not worth it. That was Elder Dragon Form too. Bit of a questionable decision, but it's kind of weird because they changed all these like quality of life things, like adding levels to like you could see other people's levels instead of having to check the scoreboard and stuff like that. So it's weird that they ended up going back on that like blink thing, the blink range.
Well, the big debate about that whole thing was Admiral Bulldog, right? Using that for his bear range.
Radiant's
Oh, right.
The exact perfect reach range of the bear.
Are fortified.
The whole lot of things. Back on the pilot, for the crush off.
I suppose when it's something like that, people get frustrated by it. Calamari is going to get the TP off. Static Storm is there. Ajit, they're going to try to take this fight. Highlight Die and Universe are going to die to the spam phone. That is a lot of damage. But they're going to turn it, though. The more players here, they've got the waveform, and there's no Omni Knights to turn it around. So it is a 2-for-1. They did get the glimpse back on Leshrac, who was trying to chase after Yol. Envy does have a waveform and see what he's under the mana for, so he can't get up to the high ground. Even if he did, it's not going to matter. So, I mean, at least they got something out of it, but that Bedlam damage is pretty insane. And it's going to stop Pi from getting his Blink Dagger, which he was very close to. Yep.
They actually managed to blow through Darkseer's pipe there, too. That was the Bedlam on top of all the AoE damage and the Static Storm, and then kill Parrot combo. A whole bunch of pipe went out for them. Yeah,
BKB might be a good item this game for these core heroes, especially.
That's
throwing that out there. Envy still doesn't have his Lincoln Sphere. At this point in the last game, he had Lincoln Sphere and like an E-Blade. The game was essentially over at this point, actually. It's a much different game, though.
Yep, big momentum difference. Right, like last game it was just keep up with the Visage, Helm of the Dominator, knock down all these towers, and bad and follow up. This game a bit more farmy, but Envy, he's got a lot of health. He's sitting like 2,000. He's not gonna die on this.
He shouldn't. They have the curse for him, but he's got to wait for himself to safety. And he's fine.
Very
God, the new morph is so much better than the it wasn't even called morph. The
it was,
Shapeshift? No, not Shapeshift. That's Lycan. Replicate, that's the one. It was so silly. Oh, I send illusion bottom. I'm gonna farm top. Okay, now I'm going bottom. Great. This is a much better ability.
Quite a high skill capability too. Not the easiest.
Yeah, we've seen Envy do some, I don't want to say miraculous, but pretty cool things. Pilot Eye has picked himself up a Blink Dagger. This was the timing window Clutch Gamers really missed out on in the last game. But it's a much different game between now and then. You know, you don't need to rely on just the Pi initiation for Fnatic in order to win these fights. Although it certainly would help in some of these engagements. Not going to be all on him to find these engagements and find these fights.
Sentry, so they want to keep the vision hold down, but Ajit looking in the middle, and there's the glimpse.
We're going to find the Afro Dark Willow top instead. Good crush. Right as the Shadow Realm came out, so they'll trade supports, And it was the 2 cores of Fnatic getting involved. I didn't see who was getting involved with the Clutch Gamers there, but...
structures are fortified.
Well, all right. They're going to try to find Yule. Centaur Conqueror Stomp. It actually hits, but they can't chase because of the Kinetic Field. They do have the Glimpse back, although here's Pylai Die, and Yule is dead. Just like that. So, Fnatic are still holding on. They have a 2K lead, but, you know, things have slowed down a little bit. We've gotten a couple kills here and there, but it's just a lot of pickups, no real objective taking happening.
Yep, it's a slow game for Favours Fnatic, for sure, right? There's no true one position on the side of Clutch Gamers. They're the ones that wanted to play the super fast fighting game over. I guess that's for the DK stun.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Corrosive Haze, removing that's going to be critical against this Morphling. Otherwise, he just auto-attacks you when you die, because you have no armor. I'm curious to see when this next, like, it's been a lot of pickups, but we haven't seen Roche, we haven't seen a tower taken in a while. When's that next moment for these teams to go in and try to find these objectives?
And I imagine it's as soon as Fnatic makes some gank happen. They do have the Qual, tons of physical damage with, and even like that double or triple ion shell on top of Roche, pretty significant damage. But you know, Fnatic, it's still go time. Abed super farm Sanj and Yasha Shadow Blade on Soul Ring Threads, tanky, Darkseer, double siege creep down in the bottom lane thanks to the help Dominator, and it's pretty much solo pushing Fnatic. I'm not defending it at all.
Nah, they're going to try for the trade, but this is a favorable trade for Radiant Sea for Fnatic. And beats in the tree lines, he wants to take a fight here, but you're fighting into GA, you're fighting into everything that Clutch Gamers has right now. They're all in this top lane. They've taken the tier 1 tower. There is a smoke from Fnatic. They're wrapping all the way around. They're going to walk high ground. Here comes the Elder Dragon form. They'll drop the Sentry, or the Shadow Blade. Envy's fine to get off the Dragon Tail. Yule's dead. He can't get off his ultimate. Terrorize, about to come out. Hits on the tree. The Sonic Wave comes up, and they have to split Earth, and actually Skylark's still in trouble. He'll pop the Lotus Orb, but he doesn't want to use GA yet. They want to keep chasing it with the Reddit, but it's so hard. But they have the toss, though, into the Dragon Tail. What a play. The Freeze Fire, the Split Earth. He can't get his abilities off. And just like that, they find a pretty critical kill. And they might find more. Pilot Eye still in. Looking for Slithering Crush, but instead, Ajit's the one to find it. They can't quite be there in time. Abed's still running it with a Silver, or excuse me, the Shadow Blade. He's found Ajit. They're going to keep going. Dragon Tail about to come out. They need the rest of the team here, though. Instead, they want to go for this Queen of Pain. And the Dragon Tail comes out, but too little too late. And Abed knowing, saying, okay. They've got to vacuum back, though. Yule coming in. They should have a Static Storm if they want to use it. They're going to pop it, but Abed's very tanky. Beta's going to try to man-fight. They've got the Curse Crown. This is a lot of damage. The Universe is sitting here. He has the pipe up in 12 seconds. But I understand going for more there for Fnatic. They just couldn't quite get it done.
Yep. Oh, I definitely didn't think that they'd be able to kill the Tiny. Maybe they could have, maybe they couldn't have. Not sure. You know, Envy, again, this guy's a genius. He plays that team fight in the very beginning with max strength, so that when they do go to focus and burst, they do happen to catch him out. You're just a giant niche, 3,000 HP Morphin doing nothing, while the rest of Fnatic clean up the backline.
Yeah.
Just like how we dodged out that smoking top lane.
He is playing dangerously. They do break the Lincoln Sphere. There's the Glimpse. That's on to instead the Highlight Die Slardar. They almost get the kill on the Courier. That was a really good blip. The waveform he really wants it. He's going to find it. And they haven't even lost this Highlight Die Slardar. Yule's going to get caught with a Freeze Fire. They blink aggressively here for Beta trying to find Highlight Die, but Ajit's dead. The Kinetic Field, they couldn't actually get there in time with Skylark. They've got the stun onto him, the waveform. He does have GA and Purification, but I don't think he's going to... Yeah, he's going to have to GA and try to deny himself. And it's not going to happen. Envy gets a double kill. They even pop the Elder Dragon form, so now they can really take an objective. Finally, the first big fight of the game, I think it goes in favor of Fnatic, those last two engagements. And this is going to lead them into Roshan as well.
Yep, it's go time. And, yeah. I feel like Clutch Gamers have already been outscored. Like, I know obviously Fnatic have a 7k gold lead now, but, you know, even in the previous fight, it looks like they have no chance. Kind of can get in there and try to burst one here. If he gets it, great. If he doesn't, then he's pretty screwed. Like, Darkseer, that's a pipe. You know, if they're grouped up together, it's just not gonna happen.
Like, they just don't do enough damage yet, even with the Tiny. Although the Bedlam comes down and kills Twilight Die, but after you just get a great slide for it. And that was not the jump I don't think that you wanted to make if you're faded. Uh-oh, Envy.
Quite low.
Oh, he actually was morphing. He did not in time, actually. And they get off the Sonic Wave. That Fade is down. Although Fade's in trouble. Good Static Storm. Envy, he won't be able to morph. He's in trouble. They have the Crimson Guard coming out. Abed's about to fall as well. Breathe Fire coming in. Finally, Envy can stand and deliver. He wants to instead kill Yol. That'd be the bigger target for him to grab. It's really the only target he can actually get. But it's pretty tough. He's juking and jiving. The Kinetic Field comes out. The Glimpse finally comes back in as well. That's going to be on to Universe. Adaptive Strike getting pushed back and forth with a Lotus Orb that Skylark puts onto the Disruptor. And so that could have been a lot better for Fnatic. They get a couple kills, sure. They do lose the DK out of that fight, though.
That's the danger of sitting on full HP against the Tiny, right? The Lincoln Sphere doesn't actually do anything to the Blink Avalanche toss. And you auto-attack twice with the Echo Saber, then you toss the 3, like 1,300 burst.
Yeah. That's how they kill this this Morphling, but as long as like he gets this BKB, maybe gets Scotty later in the game, you know, Envy's gonna be fine. And they're still 9k ahead, and I think scaling is probably the right term. You have a Tiny and he's doing okay damage, but there's a Bloodstone on this Lestrak now. I know it took forever for DJ to get there, but he does have it, and this is gonna make it even more dangerous for these team fights for Clutch gamers.
There's part of threat. Now you have the Bloodstone to make pretty cool plays where you deny yourself. Oh, it doesn't actually heal anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Shows how much I know.
I didn't know that until you just mentioned it, or I forgot it, I should say.
Radiant
until you just mentioned it. Yeah. And that was when Bloodstone was really good. Heal the entire team. Pretty strong stuff.
Fnatic, they see this.
There's the Crush, and Afronboost is just dead. If they have the Corrosive Haze, they have the True Sight. They need Skylark to be here. They do get off the Repel as well as Purification. They have TA, they're not using it yet. They finally do pop it. Abed, they would like to get the kill on him. Crush comes out, Ajit's still trying to chase, but Abed's out of there with the Shadow Blade. He's actually going to turn back around. The Squidward comes out, it's a double kill for Abed, and now Skylark's going to get back into the Crush. The waveform from Envy who shows up at the tail end of the fight to take it. And now it's just the Queen of Pain as well as the Disruptor up without Static Storm. He actually got the Glimpse, Envy stole it, and now the Disruptor's dead as well. Abed gets the triple. They have to buy back on their heroes, but now this game's starting to feel like it's becoming a little too difficult for the Clutch Gamers team. They're going to work on the rack. Although Pilot died dead, I don't really care. Abed trying to get back in the fight, but the Bramble name stopping him from doing so. Good backing for Earth. Wait for him. They'll drop the wall too. Somehow nobody's dead. They actually got out. Sonic Whip deals a lot of damage to the Terrorize, kind of combining up to get that kill. Abed might fall to the Bedlam actually, especially with the first round coming out. Avalanche comes in, good floater. He's still alive. He actually gets off the stick, but it doesn't matter. They have no way of keeping him alive otherwise. Now they're still looking for Faded. Envy needs one more auto attack. He can't find it. The blink comes out in time for Faded. DJ misses the splitters onto Afronboost. Still looking for Skylark though. Purification does come out. He will repel, and that means a lot of that damage is going to be mitigated. Glimpse comes back in onto Envy, and as much as they wanted to get these kills and how close they weren't able to do so.
Game's pretty crazy. Fnatic do take a rack spot. They're still not weak, right? Tiny can burst. I mean, you think that he couldn't be able to burst these heroes, right? Like, Starter has 1500 health, there's a Pipe and a Crimson Guard on the side of Fnatic, but 2 hits with the Echo Saber out of the Shadow Blade and the Blink Toss, then you can auto again while he's still stunned, and then Tree Toss him after. There's 4 auto attacks out of the Shadow Blade with the Tiny combo. This is an insane amount of ridiculous.
Yeah. 14k lead for this Fnatic team. Morphling is Threads, Aquila, and a Lincoln Sphere, and it still feels like he's doing so much work in these fights without the BKB, without anything else. What a hero.
Buys up full BKB now, so he's extremely strong. Universe, living the no boots life. Weaver. Dark Shooter can get away with that.
I saw him doing this earlier, but he did build the boots way later than I thought he was going to. He does have them though, but he didn't have them for a long time, if I remember correctly. Nice C ward. They smoke into the D ward.
Envy has that double kill.
Yol is dead. Yol is mega dead. And he is, well, the good news is he's only dead for 35 seconds. And want to take shrines. I think Envy's going to find Bolt faded. Good try. He used the double damage. Is he going to go mid? What is he doing here? He wants Aftermoosh. He's going to wait for his waveform, and then he's going to blow him up with an auto attack to tap this frag, I think. Oh, no. Aftermoosh. He knew. He knew.
He's out of there.
He's gone.
No, Fnatic have no pre-play.
Dire's bottom
They're going to try to get the creep wave there slowly but surely. I don't know if this is actually going to turn into anything. The DD's going to be dead soon. They do have a Satanic, interestingly enough, on the CK. Good luck killing Abed. I don't think it's a possibility anymore. Waveform, dead, Yol for 34 seconds. Skylark is here. They do get off the stun on the Pilot Eye. They'd like to get the trade. Bell comes out from Envy. That was pretty nice. Pilot Eye goes in. Waveform comes out. Envy pops the BKB going to work on a Skylark. That's the GA pops. Envy needs to be a little careful. He goes back into the on-net where he's tanky. He's got to throw up the purifications, and he's got to drop the repels. And his team is going to have a great old time now that they have the Elder Dragon come up. They're going to take the push under the tier 3 tower. They really need the Static Storm to fight, and they're going to have to wait 5 seconds for him to be back up and alive. They could blink it with the Tiny aggressively. I'm not sure if they want to, especially against Abed. Baited looking for Envy, breaks the Lancaster, and they find the stun of the Skylark. Will wait for mid. Good back wall combination from the Universe. With Breathe Fire not really doing that much because they had the pipe up from Skylark. Sonic Wave's going to come out. Universe in trouble with the Static Storm, but Abed is still fighting fit. He's going to use the Satanic yet. And Universe somehow survives through it all. Thunderstrike, he's actually going to live. I don't believe that. They're going to lose Faded elsewhere. The Dragon Tail comes down. Aftermoosh's going to fall. He's going to have to buy back. DJ is in a little too deep, but here comes Abed to help him out and Pilot out with the Crush. Although it does miss because the repel onto Haji. Skylark's still getting run down. He's got the Dragon Tail, which actually stuns Abed. So he might not be able to get the kill. The waveform wasn't there in time for them because the purification came out. It's taking them forever, but they're going to finally finish off the racks with Fnatic. And now, you're 2 sets of racks down for Clutch Gamers. Maybe if you lose part of this engagement, like if you lose like 2 or 3 more heroes, the game just ends. But they're going to hold on for now.
Yep, you know, Envy sat at the whole team fight with 3,000 health, just sitting there, chucking out stuns the entire time, not really worried about doing damage because they have so much damage to heroes.
Yeah, DJ would be the perfect target, and he is. He's down for 28 now, but Pilot Eye jumps, he gets the one-man stun off onto the Dark Willow. Of course, Ajit was repelled, so he was fine. They're still looking for Skylark. The Terrorize is about to go. He keeps canceling it. Skylark, though, getting run down by Abed and Envy. They do get off the 4-man Terrorize. Where's the follow-up? It's just going to push them back for now. Aji's finally going to get the Fnatic field. Abed and Universe in trouble. Universe especially. He might not be able to get out the Bedlam doing a lot of that damage, but Abed is standing and delivering here with this DK doing a lot of damage. He's already used the Satanic. They've got another Crush coming out. They've only killed the Disruptor for now. Envy is, I think, taking tier 4 towers, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So there's that. Can't really stop him. Ajit getting run at. Faded barely survives. Ajit might not be so lucky. He's repelled though, which is going to help. First Crown. There's a BKB on the CK. Could easily kill Ajit, but unfortunately doesn't have that item. But Envy is here. He has stolen the Omni. He's going to repel himself, and he's going to jump in and just finish off the tier 4 tower. And probably the game as well. Skylark can only really sit and watch. They'll pop the pipe onto the Ancient. The Sonic Wave has come out, but he was in the Omni Knight form for it. There's the Glyph. This has been a never-ending battle, and they will finally find Skylark, and he doesn't have buyback and that to do it. He's really been the hero that's been keeping the game. Maybe they get off a good status from Bedlam combination. Envy taking a lot of damage here, actually. He might be in trouble. Maybe not. Yeah, that's it. GG's called, and Fnatic will take it 2-0. I mean, just a great overall series, I think, from this team, right?
Very, very well played from Fnatic Clutch Gamers. You know, they did play well, but not well enough to take this. Envy's more playing is fantastic. I know he did go full agility and died twice, but the remaining team fights after that, you know, that's the don't get cocky kid. We're gonna keep you in check. And then the next team fights, he more strength. Before something happens, and he's walking in to drop the Static Storm. It's there and tanks up every team fight. It was very difficult. And we saw at the end too. Queen of Pain blinks in, tries to get the ultimate off. He just shifts back into the Omni Knight. I mean, there's no chain.